The very first project that we will be designing in this course will be the data driven approach, right? So, data driven is a base approach for any framework that we're going to design in our upcoming lectures, right? So we'll be working on so many frameworks in this course. This course is specially named as a live projects because we'll be covering so many live projects in this course, right? So if you talk about data driven is just an approach, right? The name is given as data driven because we are reading data from any third party. It could be Excel, it could be Notepad, it could be XML, right? So data driven is just an approach. Data driven is not a frame. A framework is we can call TestNG as a framework. We can call JUnit as a framework, right? Because they comes with a pre-built functionality that helps you to design test cases, test suits, right? They define the flow of your test cases, right? So those things are called as framework, right? Data driven, page object model, hybrid, these are not frameworks. These are approaches, right? Framework is nothing. It's just like how you are maintaining your project, right? How optimized your code is, how reusable components you have created so that you need to write very less code, right? So how many design patterns you have applied to your code? Like data driven is a design pattern, page object model is a design pattern, page factories are design pattern, right? These are the things that you will be using in your project along with various other utilities that is a common requirement for a project, right? The utilities like we talk about Excel reader, creating logs, sending out automated emails, right? Zipping our reports and send it, attach it to an email and then send it to your test managers, test leads, to your clients, right? Using various other things, right? These are some of the common utilities which are actually a need of any framework, right? So we'll be working on many live projects in our upcoming lectures. You're going to see once we start designing high-level architectures, once we start designing like all the different approaches like page object model, page factories, hybrid, all these approaches. Once we start working on it, these things are base for every framework, right? So we are going to start with a very basic topic, so that we can cover all these utilities in one single project, which we will be needing in all our upcoming projects, right? So these are the things we will be designing in the data-driven basic approach first, right? We'll be creating our very first framework in a very simple manner so that all these things should be implemented in a using a very simple approach, right? So that once we start building up our advanced level frameworks, we should not be focusing more on learning these things, right? So in order to follow the upcoming lectures, the basic need is that you should be very good with the WebDriver part specifically, right? All the locators and the basic core Java concept should be very good when you are starting following this lecture, right? So let's get started with the implementation of our very first live project, and we will be following as per our industry standard. We will be creating a project in a way how Maven works, right? So most majorly in the organizations, Maven is very widely used. Mostly projects are created are actually following the Maven architecture or the Gradle architecture. Gradle is nothing, it's just a wrapper over Maven, right? So we may talk about Gradle as well in our upcoming lectures, but for the time being, we will follow the Maven pattern, right? And in order to work with Maven, like we will be starting with our Eclipse project itself, right? If in case you are working on IntelliJ, you can follow the same steps, right? IntelliJ has got the Maven plugin inside it, right? Similarly, if you're working on an Eclipse version which is Mars and above, I'm on a Mars version, you can download the latest one, that is Eclipse Neon, right? And the Maven plugin comes inbuilt inside these versions of Eclipse. If you are on any previous version of Eclipse, like Eclipse Helios or Indigo or Juno or Galileo, right? Then you may need to install a plugin called as M2E plugin. I would always recommend that you should use the latest Eclipse, because there are so many things which you need not to manually install into this version, right? So we'll get started. We'll create a very first Maven project, right? So how to do that? We'll right click over here and say new. We'll go to project and we'll see an option of Maven over here and select the Maven project. Click on next and create a simple project. So this plugin provides you a template through which you need not to follow a lot of steps when you actually run Maven from command prompt, right? So when we run it from command prompt, we need to download the archive from available projects, and we copy that and create our own project and modify that project accordingly, right? So if you are working with Eclipse and if you are using this plugin, your task becomes very simple. You just need to click on the next and give a group ID over here. Group ID is like your domain, like mine is W2A, that is way to automation. And the artifact ID is your project name. So I'm gonna give this project name as data driven frame, and the line will finish. So you need to wait for a few seconds till the time the project is built. And if you open this project, you're gonna find a couple of folders like this, right? In this, you're gonna see one source folder, then main folder and the test folder. Under main, you're gonna see Java and resources, and under test, you're gonna see Java and now, in most of the company, how work is being done, that they follow main folders, main packages for all the development tasks, and test packages for all your testing, like unit testing, automation testing scripts, right? That is how they follow. So we're gonna follow the same basic approach. We'll be designing all our test cases within the test packages, right? So before we get started with this framework, the very first thing is that we will be defining the architecture layout of this